Okay, we're here with Jürgen from LRP. LRP being a long-time sponsor of the ETS series, and we want to talk a little bit about the new 2020 battery range from LRP. And I suppose the first thing is you've got the sign here with all the different ranges, and there's a huge number of batteries you've got in place for this year. Do you want to tell us a little bit about? Well, let's start off with maybe the shorty packs and why there's so many different kind of types for this.
Yes. I mean, first of all, thanks for the opportunity to show and explain my batteries. I mean, this is the whole range we are doing for 2020. Is actually the same amount of batteries than 2019, but in a little bit different setup. Okay. A 3.5 is no more available because it was surpassed with the 4000, and we added a 9.6 for the very big, demanding outdoor power tracks. I think if we go with the battery, maybe I start with explaining about for all the different types. When you are, for example, a stock touring car racer, yep, it's only these four out of our range which are really of interest for you. The 6100 we run here in the touring car stock class super successfully. 6 drivers in the A main run our all-new 6100 battery. Internal resistance even lower than last year. We are now at the level of the 8000 milliamp batteries which we run outdoor and can achieve that internal resistance now for the indoor 273 gram battery.
So that's really the big advantage and the improvement for 2020 is the reduction in internal resistance means you can run a smaller capacity battery, i.e. a lighter weight battery, yes, but still get the same punch and power out of it, and that's what you need in stock, yes, touring.
Yes, I mean there's a lot of development going on with LiPo batteries, obviously not only for the RC industry. Yeah. Portable energy is a big topic, and we actually benefit from that. So with the stock battery, the goal is lower internal resistance. If we can offer, like we achieved, a slightly higher capacity, is an additional benefit because you can run higher in the discharge curve. But obviously the internal resistance is what brings the power.
So then moving on to the modified range there. Obviously, typically from modified, it's less about the internal resistance because you have more power in the motors, yes, and maybe more about getting the right capacity combined with the weight balance of the car.
Exactly. Last year when we ran outdoors, we had a 6400 battery, which was the highest capacity for modified. Usually is enough. I mean, we will now run the Worlds in Hemstede, very power demanding track, but possibly now the 5.7 can become the more universal used modified battery, a significantly lighter battery, and possibly with enough capacity, but this is what we still have to see and have to test. This is why we have the different possibilities.
So that's the full-size packs we've run through there. And I guess the shorty packs originally came about from buggy racing, yes, but now as we move into much more competitive formula racing and also front-wheel drive now as well, shorty batteries being used in that. And also to make it even more complicated, I guess, the modified guys indoors are able to get away with the capacity being that much smaller and again, the weight advantage. So should we start off with the stock ones on the shorty side then?
Yeah, certainly can. Exactly like you worded it perfectly. In the past, I would go with shorties to the off-road race and with full-size batteries to the on-road race, with formula, with fronty becoming more popular. People usually in the stock classes, the same story. They strive for the lowest possible internal resistance. The 5.9, obviously highest capacity, allows you to run high in the discharge curve. But due to the internal structure of the battery, the 4900 has a slightly lower internal resistance. Then fronty class, balance of the car, also in off-road, the four-wheel drive, maybe a 188 gram battery with a slightly higher internal resistance than the 4.9 might be beneficial for the handling of the car. So this is why we offer these 3 choices. And now, like you just said, exactly right, with the top guys now moving in modified to the shorty battery as well. And we had here, I mean, I work with Simon Lauter. I have to say I have the pleasure to work with him. Super nice guy, very good driver. He was starting modified this year, played it easy at the ETS, and started here also with a full-size pack and asked me for a 4000. And watching his car, you can really see how the rotation improves with the lower weight, the possibilities you have with adding weight to the car, but maybe at different places where you like to have it. So it was really not eye-opening, but it was interesting to see in such a case how it transformed the car to a faster, better rotating car. And
I guess that's the thing. It's not getting the weight down. Isn't about making the batteries lighter to make the car lighter. It's just giving you the opportunity then to play with the other weight and move that around the car to, as you say, make the car balance differently and make the rotation better.
Yes, exactly. I mean, obviously, if you have the additional weight, maybe as brass weights positioned, you also have a lower center of gravity. So I think that there is a lot to it, but it is so super competitive, as we have enjoyed watching, and especially we have enjoyed watching, was absolutely brilliant. And then people always ask, yeah, but how much of a difference it makes? Yeah, but if you're fighting for a second in 5 minutes, what is a big difference? Yeah. I would say 2 seconds over 5 minutes is a big difference. Other people might say it's not that much, but at the sharp end, it is day and night.
And lastly, I guess we've got the modified shorty, which is that small range for the guys in modified who want to run it. And Ronald was used the 4000 this weekend to be victorious. It's a really tiny battery, just 158 grams, so loads of opportunity to play with the weight and things as well, but still enough power for the modified motors of today.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that was the most critical task. The lower you go in capacity, the smaller the cell size becomes. We're still using a 5-turn motor who will not care about what battery is on the supply side, and the current we draw is really, really high. So the cell construction needs to be really robust to take this abuse, not only once or twice, but over a longer cycle life. Yeah. And this is what we are very happy to achieve with the 4000.
So there we go. So thank you, Jürgen, for introducing us to the range and actually kind of making it a bit simpler as to, you've got a huge range there, but you can break it down, and depending on what class you're running, you've maybe got 2 or 3 choices of which battery is going to be best for you, and then depends on your track as to whether you need to go for the capacity or you want to kind of trade that off for a bit more power in the battery as well. So Jürgen, congratulations on the new line. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you at more ETS races.
Thank you very much. Last thing, maybe what I showed here is on our homepage. There is a landing page. When you click on top on the batteries, the whole file will open up exactly the same what I showed here.
There you go.
Thanks a lot.
You can check that on the LRP website and find out which battery is right for you.